Can I handle a woman being the breadwinner? Yeah, I pretty much could. I mean, I stay in Washington, D.C. That's the #1 place for women and their earning potential. And my profession, like I'm a school psychologist. So the field is mostly women. Like, so you're gonna run into a woman who makes 2-3 times more than you. So it's just something you gotta deal with. And I don't think it's anything you have to deal with in the sense of it taking away value from you. We have to reassign how we think about money, how we think about the role in which we'll play in our relationship. Because a woman being the breadwinner in your relationship doesn't take away what you bring to the table. Because you bring more than money. You bring time, you bring experiences, you bring structure. As a man, you have to really conduct yourself to be a leader. You have to conduct yourself to be a staple for your family, be a protector, a provider. And providing is traditionally associated with money, but you provide things in different ways. You provide comfort. Comfort doesn't necessarily have to be a product of money. Comfort can be just talking to your significant other, can be just being there in those key moments when they really need you. So money, we can't equate that to your position or title. Because I mean, every day we see women progressing in different fields and different industries and becoming these leaders, becoming Fortune 500 CEOs and creating businesses, multi-million-dollar businesses. So we have to change the way in which we even engage with women in the workplace. We have to see them as equals. We have to see them as a business outside of just, the objectifying them about their bodies and seeing them as a piece of meat. Because in most cases, these conversations come up because we don't really take women seriously in the workplace. That's why you see these movements, Me Too, you see these progressive women groups that are fighting for equal pay and all of these equal rights to fully express themselves as a professional. And us as men, we have to support that. I support all women. Go get the bag, get the money, do what you need to do to provide for you and your family. Because we grew up with a lack of. A lot of us, 90s, 80s babies, we grew up without fathers in the home. So women had to take on a lot of these responsibilities. And the children, the girls that we grew up with, they had to grow up struggling. They had to grow up seeing that void. And they're growing up and they're feeling that. So being that breadwinner, go get your money, black girl. Go get your money, queen. Do that. Breadwinner.
I can relate to the situation. Growing up, my parents, my dad was the breadwinner for a while. My mom was still in school because she had my brother at 19, so she had to drop out and everything like that. Ended up going back to school, getting her master's, her PhD, and my dad took care of everything until about the time I was my junior year of high school. And then my dad came and was like, I want to retire and be a pastor, and leave Bank of America. I'm like, you gonna leave from making about 100 bands to make like 33,000?
And working 100 hours.
And working 100 hours a week? I'm like, man, you love God, man. Praise the Lord. And you know what I'm saying? My mom, her situation wasn't like that. Hers was like a lesser job and everything. But her take on it was like, you allowed me to go back to college, get multiple degrees, and finish what I started. So it was a situation where they connected more. So I love this man, I love this woman, and I'll do whatever it takes. So I've seen it firsthand. It really depends on how deep your love is. The money shouldn't matter because you put away the odds for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more like you hold me down, I hold you down type situation. For me, I think it's a responsibility that comes with being a breadwinner that a lot, and I'm not gonna say all, but a lot of females haven't grasped. They haven't come to terms with it. As a man, as a breadwinner, you can't say certain stuff. Like, you can't throw it in their face that, you make more money. But a woman might come back to you like, hush, nigga, this is my crib. And you looking at her like, damn, you know what I mean? And that's an ego. That kills you. I burned this house down. Yeah, exactly, nigga, that's my car. That's my crib. And it's crazy because nowadays, it might be her car. Yeah. Nowadays it might be her crib. So really you ain't got shit to say. You know what I mean? So it's like a responsibility to be understanding and be compassionate for a man who already goes out into society and everybody nigga, your girl make more money than you, nigga. Shut up, you the bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You the wife, nigga.
Yeah.
But you know what? Okay, so for me though, I think, all right, by and large, from a historical standpoint, right? We use money and your ability to make money synonymously with whether you are a man or not, right? And so it's like, if you don't make, how much you make is how big your dick is, like in a very like real way. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's just moving away from that. Cause not even that you don't make money, but her making more don't put no dents on my manhood, right? Like, so my real life, in my real life, my girl is going to make double what I make. Straight up, like this year. Straight up, right? But I don't think neither I nor she measures my manhood by the amount of money I make, because I didn't make even the decision on what I do based on the amount of money, right? So if I wanted to be a pastor, if I wanted to be a counselor, right? If I wanted to be a school counselor, I'm never gonna clear 6 figures, bro. But what's more important to you? Is it more important that I clear 6 figures, or that I do something that's meaningful and important, right? So I think it's just about kind of reprioritizing. Does that man do what a man's supposed to do? Because even though you don't make more money, that don't mean you don't take care of your household, right?
Exactly.
Do you create?
Good point.
Do you create a vision for your home, right? Do you create, you know, like I guess like structure and safety, and you know what I mean? Are you reliable? Are you dependable? Are you the kind of person who she can trust her kids with, right? Can you take care of the family as a whole? Like, all of those things have nothing to do with money. So I just, you know, I think as a society we evolving because women, right, are doing more historically than they ever have. That's a great thing. But what that means, because women are like that in a lot of ways, especially in the workplace, they might excel. Because you think about even industries where women are at that men aren't, right? So healthcare, largely women, right? But healthcare is booming. Education, right? Especially higher ed, booming. But men are underrepresented in those spaces, right?
And I think that's where you got to check your relationship at the end of the day. Because a lot of us talk about breadwinners, but if we're together, what you get is what I get. What I get is what you get.
Oh, no.
So at the end of the day, if you come in like with the us mindset, then it ain't no breadwinner. Right. I talked to a personal accountant the other day, bro. We sat down and he was like, you know, a housewife is worth $100,000. And you don't think about it till you have kids and you gotta pay $1,500 for daycare room. But if your wife is at home, or if somebody's at home, I'm not even saying a wife in this new generation, but if somebody's at home, you're saving money. Sometimes saving is greater than what you bring in, right? Because sometimes we take in so many bills once we get so much money that all we're doing is getting money to pay. We got to think about what we're keeping sometimes. So the conversation about breadwinner sometimes kind of gets to me, because the bread is ours. At the end of the day.
That's how it should
But
be.
either way,
That's the thing, though.
Real quick.
The bread is ours. Oh, you got a quick point? Go ahead.
Real quick. Because I mean, it's just in the check-in relationship thing. Because not only that, not only about how you think about money, but how you think about your partner, right? Like, why would you even be with somebody who will wield what they make as a weapon? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for you, it ain't even, that's not a knock on me. You saying, nigga, this my house, ain't an insult to me. That's it. You look back like that. Damn, like so that's what we like. Bet.
That's a perfect segue into what I'm about to say. Like, basically, if you look at how breadwinner, what that means, you bringing in money. So if you look at women in today's society when it comes to dating, they look at men as a package. They want you to come with 6 figures, a beard, 6'3", all that. Now, and that goes back to the social media thing and how you're always projecting this ideal self, living in the ego, or the id, this fantasy. So if you look at how social pressures have been placed on men to provide, and you look at society as a whole, where we have black women being the most educated group, period, ever. They got the most degrees, they got the most buying power. I mean, by and large, you look at these degrees and they get in these professions. So as we age, I think we're the generation that has to deal with the switch. We grew up, for me personally, I grew up, my mom was a breadwinner. So I've always been around strong women. I know how to deal with it. My first real relationship, she was making all the bread. I'm still trying to figure it out. So I think we just have to reassign, I don't want to say gender roles, but we got to reassign how we look at money in relation to being a man.
But it's the way that you interpret it as well, too. Yeah. Everything is about interpretation. So if you have the woman making this much money, you have the man making this much money, they can be a partnership, bring it all together. We take care of everything together. I cook, you cook, I clean, you clean. But it can't be the sense of, this is your job, this is what you do. I bring in the money and you my slave. See, in a deeper sense, it's like a demasculation to men at this point of now, to us in general. Because I come from a working class family, you know what I'm saying? My dad worked hard in mills and stuff. And my mom, she was working her whole way up. Same situation there. You know, and now she's nurse practitioner, home health business, but my dad sweated, you know, he was doing his thing. Now it's a partnership. It's like, okay, I'm building legacy for my kids, for my family, and we're building on that. So if you can create more power than this bread, then you have more love.
And that goes to mutual respect and building a foundation before you get in a relationship. Because for one, when you're getting into a relationship, you should always have that mutual respect for each other. When respect is out the window, everything is gone. So I talked to a dude the other day, and he told me, he said, whenever you and your wife or whenever your spouse have a goal, y'all have to think, what type of empire, what type of house I want to build. So you can look at it this way. In order to build a 4-bedroom house, all you need is a 1-inch slab, right, as a foundation. But if you want the Empire State Building, you have to dig deep into the ground, create a concrete so that when you build that building up so high, it doesn't lean. And that's the thing, that's the concept that we have to put in our mind. Once that foundation is set, it doesn't matter who the breadwinner is. Because another thing I like to talk about is comparison kills. And if y'all don't take nothing from this, comparison kills, man. Dude. You worry about your house, your home. Because as soon as I start hearing the story about what Jackie and John got going on over there, then we already losing, man.
Because Jackie and John miserable, bro.
Miserable.
They ain't happy,
But
bro.
see, this is the thing. This is the other thing. Because I don't think that, you know what, and I think it probably has a lot to do with the way that we date. Like, we come from an era and a generation that is probably more individualistic than any other generation has been that preceded us, right? And so we think about things in terms of, I did this, this is mine, this is this. But there's trade-offs, right? Like, there are going to be things that I bring to this, which is ours. You know what I mean? So it's about whether or not you even approaching it from the mindset of a partnership. So say what my girl and us, right? Like, she's going to come and she's going to make more money than me, right? But she has more student loans than I do, right? So in my mind, though you make more money, right, from a financial standpoint, it makes more sense that you pay more than I do, right? But that's stupid, because we could do this instead. I already own a home. I already live sufficiently without any of your income. Doesn't it make more sense that you would move to where I'm at, right? You would have no bills, and you could use your high level income to knock your debt down, because that's what partners do. You see what I'm saying? So, but that's not just a me thing, that's a her thing. So you got a partner who understands, like, they're saying, okay, I make this much more than you. That's not an indicator that you're less of a man, that's an opportunity. So you got a man, my ego's not involved, right? I love you, you love me back, I'm a man, you're a woman, and we in this thing together. So I can say, look, I don't need you to pay none of them bills. I don't need you to do that. I need you to work on that student debt, right? Get that down, because like your shit is actually have none. So I have none, you got like, you know what I mean? Right. Focus on that. And then she can take her income and she can take care of that, but that's what partners do.
But in a sense, what does that do for you? This relieves the stress of the whole partnership. Amen. So that makes him better mentally, and it's better financially. What people forget about this whole thing, you got breadwinners, people forget in relationships that we are one.
It's a team.
It's a team.
It's a team. Go ahead. The biggest thing it leads to, too, in the situation, he's already handling that. She handles her debt. Then they go buy the home that they want together. You know what I mean? And they create it and build it together.
But it's about how you define yourself in a relationship, right? If you define yourself as the man, I'm a man because I got the money, I'm a man because I got all this. The moment that she don't need it, you lost, right? You lost. And I mean, take it back to okay. So take it back to when the role relationship really switched. So back before World War II, the man's job, go out, work, get a house. That was what he provided for the family. You know what I mean? So it's like when they went off to war, who went to work? The woman went to work. Amen. So when you come back from war, you ain't got no job, so now you lost. You looking around like, damn, like what am I supposed to do? How do I bring shit to the table? How do I bring shit to the table?
Society definitely plays a role in all of this. If you look at trends in the world, it's always a need that is being replaced, and roles are being redefined. Because like you just said, after a war, who's going to work those jobs? Exactly. Women. So over the years, we've seen women become more progressive, but also we've seen women put themselves in a position and fight to make this money. And we can't ignore the fact that women have been oppressed.
Exactly.
By financial, Barefoot and pregnant. I think that's in the country. That's what they call it, barefoot and pregnant.
Yeah.
So we gotta
we
adjust
gotta acknowledge that, and we gotta do our part to redefine how we look at manhood, but also empower women to let them know it's alright.
And then at that, let's close this out by saying we have to redefine how we look at money. Because above all else, man, I learned from having a high-paying job to taking a $40,000 pay cut to work for a job that gave me a better quality of life. And like Josh, you know, like I know, as a therapist, quality of life means everything. Money means nothing. Because at the end of the day, I can tell you, when you die, you're not gonna have your money by your side. If you on your deathbed, you're gonna want your family, you're gonna want the people you love, you're gonna want everybody that you care about. Money will never be there, so money should never be the issue. But we have to learn how to get over that.